hey Norman, OpenAI is the next big thing, and I was, hey, 2019, like robots cannot write like humans,
Suddenly I like Google again, right? Because there was a couple of years where it was just a pain in the ass.
There's no hiding way. AI is the greatest opportunity we've seen in the last 20 years here, but also the biggest threat to some things, right?
Please book me a flight from A to B, and it immediately jumps on a search engine.
There are 99% of people, and then there's 1% marketeers, right?
Welcome to Let's Talk Ads. We're here to push your growth marketing tips, fun and chats. Tune in, let's rock the show.
Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Ads. My name is Andre. I'm the CEO of Admiral Media, an award-winning performance marketing agency, and I'm interviewing very interesting guests every week. And today I've got an exciting person sitting next to me remotely, Norman from Omio. You're VP. What are you? VP Growth at Omio, no?
Yeah. I could choose the title myself, so that's why it's so fancy. VP growth means I'm responsible for everything that is more or less unpaid. Unpaid is not unpaid because it's still millions of euros in unpaid, but everything that is organic, from SEO, ASO, CRM, so everything in these fields, large language model optimization. Our topic today, GEO, is in there. So everywhere where I don't pay Google or Meta or TikTok ad dollars.
Yeah, amazing. Nice to have you here, Norman. So our topic today to the audience, I forgot to introduce actually. We wanted to talk about AI as everyone, but we have a very specific topic about AI, not like Mid-Journey and Nano Banana and whatever is happening in the industry right now. It's rather a very practical approach in how we could use AI to optimize our visibility inside LLMs, meaning it's nowadays, there's a new buzzword in the industry. It's called geo generate. What is it for?
So I asked the question if it's AIO, LLMO, or geo. Yeah, geo is sort of generic engine. So three terms meaning exactly the same. Generic engine optimization. So how do you optimize to be visible not in classic search engines, but generic engines? Could be a
generative.
Generative. No, not generic. Also generic one day. And also Google with AI overviews, obviously. So everywhere where AI is used to give answers, create a dialogue, give outputs. So what we're used to have in search engines, and now see more and more smarter answers.
I see. The reason why we are talking about this is actually because we see it in ourselves. Probably the regular search volume is going downhill. Maybe there are some public statistics around that. Norman, maybe you have some insights here. But you've started your career basically with SEO like centuries ago.
Did you just call me old? SEO, geo is the new SEO. Yeah, that's what I think, what the market thinks, and so on. And I started doing SEO very early, doing WordPress in 2006 at university, and then at Axel Springer. We had Immonet, Stepstone, Idealo, all the great SEO engines at that time in there, and then I worked almost 7 years at Zalando. We worked together at the beginning. I think I see you more now on video calls and in podcasts than I saw you at Zalando in the office.
But there's reasons for that. But
probably also because we ramped it up quite fast in 2012, and then it was a massive engine. Yeah. And after that, I had the luck to go into some startups, do some content work, learned about OpenAI really early because two of my good friends went to MIT and told me, hey Norman, OpenAI is the next big thing. And I was, hey, 2019, like robots cannot write like humans, and we were all wrong at that time. And then I started at Omio, and Omio is quite a big engine. Yeah, we have 60 markets, 60 apps, more than 60 apps. We do over 40 different countries, so quite an approach if you want to do it manually with humans and
What does
native.
Omio do? For those who don't know the brand, what is Omio?
Oh, so there's someone out doesn't know Omio. Okay. We are the most advanced, or at least the biggest ground transport provider in the world. So we have tickets for every train and bus in the world, basically. Yeah. So we have Deutsche Bahn, but we also have thousands of other providers similar to that, from
So like
SNCF, Flixbus,
marketplace, any type of ticket, basically.
any type of ticket, ferry, train, bus, flight.
Got it.
So everything. So I went this summer to Norway, took the ferry with Omio, just show it. We have our own ticket system, so you don't need to go somewhere else, or pick a ticket up or print it or whatever. And we have it in a lot of languages. So whenever someone comes to Europe and needs a ticket, like a Korean, a US person, a French person, then they have it in their native language. That's our big advantage. Yeah? So we offer tickets in all languages for all platforms, and that makes organic quite important here. No? So people search for their trip to Europe, their trip to South America, their trip to Asia, and hopefully find us.
Yeah, okay, understand. I mean, travel is a very search ad heavy environment, I would say, in terms of advertising and visibility. And that you took ownership of the organic reach, basically, with your history in Zalando, also shopping. You led like 100 people team or something, SEO managers.
The story we never made public at the beginning, but I think now 10 years later it's fine. I think we had the biggest SEO team in the world. Yeah, that's what Andre, Alba, and Dominic and we all said. Like we had almost 100 SEO only people. Yeah, and then plus some for ASO, for project management, for content, some other things. So that's how we ramped it up that fast and that unique kind of, and then overtook everything on the market here in Europe. Yeah.
In Omio, I mean, now 10 years have passed. Like, is that still a thing? Do you still need those people, or maybe it's just a small extent, or has the team entirely shifted into AI content generation to be better indexed in the LLMs, like GPT and stuff?
That was our topic for the podcast here, giving practical tips, right? Practical tip number one. Let's say it this way: we had 100 people there when I started at Omio. We had 60 people there. I think I can operate with 3 to 5 great people the same amount of business.
Oh wow!
Now
it's quite a significant difference. Why is that?
We have workflows now, or companies that are a bit advanced in automation. There are workflows now where the native language is not so important anymore. Yeah. So in old times you thought like, hey, well, we had 3 Finnish people in SEO at Zalando. This is the entire marketing population of Finland, I guess, we had in our team. Yeah. So there are not more than 3 Finnish SEOs, I guess. No, but we get the point. Language is not the skill anymore. I think the function, the AI skills are way more important nowadays. And you can automate languages, you can automate content types, you can automate picture types, you can automate product tests really, really well. So you don't need more hands to operate these things. You need more, at the end, more agents, more assistants, more AI approaches, more data sources. You connect and someone who steers it. That's how you get the number of hands down on a lot of marketing topics, a lot of product topics. I think these 2 fields are touched a lot. Obviously, also in finance, you have a lot of automation going on and so on. But let's talk ads. Let's talk ads here, and the creating banners. You remember, like cutting the times are not long ago when you had to cut banners, move it around, skyscraper here, square there, all this cutting and making the imaging better, make the image better. I think there are a lot of good automation processes now who can do all this up to the bidding part. Yeah, where I mean, Google is using AI heavy on performance max and whatever it is. Yeah.
Let's stick to geo, generate engine optimization and being indexed in Gemini, in GPT and so on. Maybe let's go to the point where you thought like, hey, okay, it makes sense to have a look at optimizing our content in a way that the LLMs are indexing us. how did you get there? Like, did you see like a trend in your SEO traffic, organic traffic on Google Analytics or whatever tool you're using? Was there a reason that you said like, okay, we really need to invest more time into getting index in these LLMs?
Okay, so you make it really challenging for me and asking two questions at the same time. So the first one is how to get visible in there. I think how to get visible, that's what everybody asks now. There are really basic but very practical tips you need to follow. The LLMs have need to discover you, crawl you, and so on. So there are different bots from different AI engines, like GPT has their own bot, Google has their own different bots for AI. DeepSeek has their own one, Claude, Grok, and so on. So from the, let's say, 7, 8 big ones out there, they have all their own bots. You need to, wherever you operate, if you don't operate in China, probably DeepSeek doesn't need to be there, but they need to crawl you. You will see this in your Cloudflare or whatever statistics quite heavy. Yeah, I have a nice story. Let's imagine I have access to another big travel site. Yeah, it's another one, but it's a very big one. We opened the gates to after disallowing the ChatGPT crawl this site, and after opening the gates, I think in like 2 days or even like under 48 hours, the page was crawled by them or hit 1.5 million times.
Wow. So you mean like you at the beginning you said, hey, AI tool, please don't crawl our page, and then you said, okay, let's try, let's allow it, and then they come. The bot
we said like, hey, let's see what happens if we restrict the data we give there. But let's be honest, they get the data wherever they want from. Even if the ChatGPT also gets it from the Bing index, so you also need to exclude Bing. So then it doesn't make sense. So at the end, the engines are now trained anyway. So if you give them your data or not, doesn't make any difference for them and their model anymore. So first of all, give them access. If you are big enough to make deals with them, like newspapers in the US, make deals with them that they can API-wise feed your content in there. Second one is they like structured data, markups, and so on. So find a way, make your website, if not already done for SEO reasons, make it structured, give good schema markups so that they fully understand what you have. Give questions and answers. That's how they work. Yeah. Let's call it FAQs. Make real human reviews. Yeah. Give something they need for their answer. Yeah. And on the other hand, Kevin Indig said it. We all know that brand is the thing. Also in SEO, you need to be an authority. Authority can be a brand, but also can be an authority via content. So you need to have this, let's call it influencer content, real reviews. You need to be the authority also on the content side, that they can quote you, the system marks you as authority, and then you get quoted and cited quite often.
Yeah. Okay. You mentioned markups. Can you explain what that is to the audience who are maybe not working in SEO every day? Like you need to increase the number of markups on your own website, is what you said, right? What does it mean?
Yeah. So technically, very basic. You give machines a hint for what a type of content or a module stands for. You say like, this is a page, this is your breadcrumb, mark it up. This is an FAQ, mark it up so that the machine understands and it doesn't have to think around or what it is. Or that's a map, then mark it up. So whatever element you have, you can give it a marker. There are official markers, schema org markups, and then the structure and the type of contents and so on are much more understandable for search and generative, not generic engines.
And okay, understood. And did you see back to the original question, like how did you discover, okay, it makes sense to invest time in optimizing for LLMs?
The second, so that's the second question. For the first question, so if you have an authority and you get mentioned, you get backlinks and mentions, like similar to SEO in old times. Yeah, and you have the right content and it really delivers answers, you probably have a good chance already. Also, freshness is a topic. If you look it up, so the fresher and marked up as fresh or real fresh or whatever, the better it is for some intents or queries, or prompts. And if you do this, you can see the results. So we tested 4 different tools to measure the results on the visibility side. So how visible are you in large language models? So ChatGPT, AI overviews, and so on. So there are different tools. Peak AI is one. Shout out to Malte, Markus, and the other ones there. They have a nice flow, nice overview. They can keep the pace pretty good. Also, Otterly AI is out there. SEMrush tries to get into this, but they're still a bit bulky, and Profound is also in there. And the big thing is you don't see directly prompts in there. They're all making estimates, so no one should be thinking that they can just go somewhere and see the prompts and optimize. Like for SEO, the keywords, the search volume, boom. For prompts, you don't know the prompts unless you don't have your own AI engine and your own AI product. You don't know the prompt, so you kind of have to find a way to see what are the prompts your user use, so you can optimize for these prompts. That's the first step. So let's assume I know the prompts I have. Then I put it in the tools, and then I can see how the visibility versus competitors increases, decreases. And based on that, you go into your analytics tool of your choice and see which AI generates content for you. So you can measure traffic directly coming from OpenAI, from ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, DeepSeek, and so on. I clustered them. I think that's a good approach at the beginning to get an understanding how much traffic do you get from these LLMs, and even without AI overviews in Google, it's already a share. So I see companies having between 1 and 5% already of traffic from AIs at the moment in their traffic mix.
This doesn't sound too much. I'm actually a little bit surprised, to be honest. I would have expected that there's a more drastic shift in search behavior of users. I myself, I'm not Googling anymore.
There are 99% of people, and then there's 1% marketeers, right? So if we cut out so this 1% is covered in this 1 to 5%. Interesting, I saw it now on the different the multiple websites. The share doubles. Every, let's say, whatever it is, 3 to 6 months, the share doubles. So that's what happened since October last year or earlier on a lot of websites out there. So even if they have 3 now, you can be sure that there will be a 6 and then a 12 maybe until end of 2026.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so the share increases. The big problem here is what we see on the US market, that you get more impressions than Google, for example, still the biggest engine for traffic in the world. But people don't click anymore, so the CTR goes down everywhere. Yeah, in the US, minus 40% for information queries because the answer is already in Google, so there's no need to click anymore.
So this little Gemini answer is responsible that I'm not clicking.
The little AI overview exactly on top of it causes a lot of click-through rate drops for a lot of companies. AI mode is another one now since weeks out already. Also in other markets than US will also keep the people in there. Of course, Google has ads business, want to integrate more links and develop here, but at the moment, companies lose CTR on these fields, especially if you don't have anything to sell. If you're an original seller and the only one if you are Nike, if you have a lot of tickets you cannot buy there, then still you get the click out. People want to buy something, but if it's just an information, you don't get the click. Yeah.
You don't need to read the entire page, open the page, get bombarded with 12 banners and pop-ups and stuff. Newsletter here.
No future on that business for sure.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, for me as a user, the experience got much, much better since this Gemini integration. When I Google and get the answer, usually it's a request for knowledge, right? A query for knowledge.
Yeah.
And
Knowledge, information, knowledge, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and for that, I mean, my experience has drastically improved, and suddenly I like Google again, right? Because there was a couple of years where it was just a pain in the ass that I just had 12 ads and underneath 5 pages that might have the answer or maybe not, but at least I get 12 banners shown and pop-ups all the time, right? And this certainly is. Do you see a big change in the search terms and search behavior in either your classic SEO traffic or in the LLM traffic?
You already said it. Your behavior changed. Yeah, you ask it a lot. At work, at work, I see people talking to their phones more. Yeah, my son is very proud saying he doesn't use Google. Yeah, anymore. Like at all. 17. So the change to more detailed intents or queries is there. People will get used to it. I think this is what we have to adapt. This new world, similar to when Zalando came up, when Amazon came up, and so on, they shape how people think what is the new normal. If the new normal is you get a real great answer with one click or one sentence, then this will be the behavior of the future. People will not go back to something that is has a worse experience or measurably worse experience. So I expect what we also saw in SEO, that the queries, the intents, the prompts get more specific. So there will be a shift in usage.
Mm-hmm.
What was your thought on that?
No, I totally follow this idea. We just can't really answer like how this new behavior will look like, right? I mean, there's not yet this one player who rules it all. I think people are shifting between Perplexity, GPT, and Google all the time. And they all function a little bit differently. Have you seen, for example, Perplexity? Have you seen this new browser that they've released, Comet?
Yeah. Actually, I just signed up on Monday or so quite late. So I haven't received any confirmation, but our CTO has it, and we played around with it. That's why the Google case in US on kind of pulling out together the different parts of Google and separate units and separate companies was not followed up because the new AI world has a lot of competition. So the competition for Google rose in the last month so much that they don't see the need anymore to split Google and the search business and the other businesses apart. So that's quite a significant kind of turnaround on the market. People use in US Perplexity, in Europe mainly ChatGPT. In China, no one knows them. No one. And we have a team in China from Omio, and they use DeepSeek, and now they're already like looking for something else. So they're like a bit faster than the rest of the world for sure. And changing their user behavior. And if something has a better UX, better experience, they just change it. They don't stick like the Germans to Yahoo 20 years or Google or that's the world gets more back more to an oligopoly when it comes to the AI search world than just a pure monopole of one per market. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, I mean this comment to close this one comment from Perplexity. This the integrated assistant is basically the LLM inside the browser for those who don't have access yet. And this assistant takes over control of the website if you want to, right? So I could tell the assistant, please book me a flight from A to B, and it immediately jumps on a search engine, executes a search, and can actually book the whole service or make an analysis of whatever you want to, right? So this is a crazy and very integration of AI.
That's the fundamental change here. The browser has an agent functionality. So what we have in ChatGPT I think it was operator at the beginning, and what you also have in Gemini, you can build an assistant or even something that is proactive. Then I would call it agent. I don't know if that's correct differentiation, but that's how my peer group says. Yeah. So, and these agents, they can proactive do something for you. I did this on a conference with a video where operator went through from the task buying something, or the Omio in this case, and then went from Google to Omio and up to the point to buy a ticket. And then here, if it's browser integrated, it's a crazy thing. Huh? So for comparison pages, I'm not too worried because they still have the prompt or task to find the cheapest one to compare them, give me a comparison. Yeah, I think until people really trust that they really found the best option for them, it's a long way. Still, agent functionality is the future everywhere. Also, when we talk about what are precise things for the audience to do now, what are let's talk ads, functional tips. I would start giving my teams, my company, a framework. This is how you build little custom GPTs. This is how you build agents. What's your question or your use case? And then connect databases, build the prompt for it, try to get good output. So that's what I would start now, really now. Yeah. I was
Can you give an example how you do that in Omio, maybe, so that it's easier to adapt to my own. Maybe.
So coming from the browser as agent, like for B2C, like for end customer, but for business, it's the same approach. At Omio, but I was on a conference and there was the AI evangelist from Bayer AG, and I think his number was they have 4,000 custom assistants, custom GPTs or something at Bayer already. They enable the employees, giving them a framework. It's called, in that case, I think they had Langdoc. It's a Berlin company that connects all the LLMs. And then the employee just says, hey, my question is, I want to know how much aspirin we sold in the last weeks. And I have this question every week. And I also want to know all these other stats. And my data sources is this sheet, this sheet, this sheet. So you connect the sheets. You can actually just pull it into Langdoc or Gemini or GPT. Connect it, formulate the prompt, give them the task to drop it every week or whatever, and then you have your first very tiny assistant making analytics jobs for you. Or content production. The next one would be content production. I have an agent that produces really great, legally usable pictures for all kind of destinations, buses, trains, and so on. So we found a way that our agent collects license-free information, on the web, and builds out of that license-free material that only we own. We can put on our app, on our web page, and so on. So that agent. So if we have like a new destination, for example, or a new provider, a new product, whatever it is, I can do in one day everything instead of waiting for brand 4 weeks to say, that's how it should look like, or produce it and shape it.
Let's make an example. So you have a new thing in Athens, Greece.
Yeah, and let's take Kaput close to Potsdam. Yeah, no.
Okay.
So we have now a train station in Potsdam, new with Deutsche Bahn. Then I can say, hey, I need the description of the best train connections to Potsdam, the best beaches in Kaput, Potsdam, the fastest trains. Give me a picture of Kaput and bring it, and save it somewhere or bring it live. I can make this for hundreds per day. What in old time was a real big effort in 30 languages, obviously. Yeah.
And this is then like an SEO landing page, or what is this for? Or is it like actual?
I would say it. I would make it available for all channels. Yeah, in the modern world, to say this is the content for SEO, this is the content for the app experience, this is a little snippet for CRM. Yeah, make a summary of this long thing, make a smaller picture, and this is what you can use in display app and display web, for example. So delivering all the same package because the request is always the same. So you can really scale it per language, per channel, and then it really makes the difference.
Okay, understand. Did you use some tool to program all these steps? Because it certainly still needs not just one prompt, right? You still need to connect different dots. Are you using Make, N8N, or something like that?
As we guys work together on a project, I know you guys work with Make, and Make is quite popular on the market. We have 150 engineers, so we have a lot of internal tools. Yeah, so for me, it's a sprint at Omio to develop something similar that we can actually work with it. Yeah, but we used a tool called Cassie from a Berlin AI company. The company is called Magic, with a G at the end. Magic. I think that's a very nice example. If you don't have tech resources, just go there, tell what you need, and then give the prompt, and you can connect to every LLM you want, Midjourney, GPT-5, a very cheap one, whatever it is, and get the output saved and then refine it 3 times, and then you usually have a really great result in there. So Cassie and Magic is one approach. I worked with one of these old HR providers like Disagi, but they also have departments now who generate agents, like the new HR, right? An agent is nothing else than a mid-level developer. Like no, but it's similar to an HR resource for some questions. So they helped us, but custom GPTs and so on we build internally.
I see. Interesting.
Yeah.
No, I didn't have anyone yet who would have shared that they are developing their stuff in-house. Like this is because usually those developers are very much occupied with app releases.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Also the testing, you can make so much more versions and so much more testing, and all times all these app versions, and then they failed and they had problems. Yeah, all this time you put there, and I would rather invest 1-2 sprints in making like an AI environment where you can test with 2-3 agents your new app version before it goes live, reduces drastically your failure rate of your versions. So like I would shift the resources there a bit. But of course you need the resource and you need the know-how and the people that want to do this. Yeah. Some people are just still hiding away for it. There's no hiding away. AI is the greatest opportunity we've seen in the last 20 years here. But also the biggest threat to some things, right? So you can choose the side where you want to be. And I would take the topic, own it, and create it for me as a single employee or as a team or company internally.
You mentioned this automated content production. I would call it like, I don't know, programmatic SEO, but you also use it for the in-app experience, right? Is that then for the user that he easily discovers and is visible and it's driving conversions into ticket bookings, or what was the for?
Hands-on tips here. We talked about this in some weeks ago. You can create unique pages, custom product pages, custom store listings, all these unique pages for paid, also for unpaid now, more or less, in the app stores. If you want to scale this, you need AI or a lot of manual power, or an agency doing it for you. Yeah, if you want to create like 50 different storefronts, one for product ABC or train, bus, flight, or France, Germany, UK, whatever it is. Yeah. So here AI already helps a lot on scaling, and you can see the benefits from it, that you can measure more installs, for example. Yeah. On the content side, as I'm a big fan of A/B tests, although it's not covering all SEO needs, let's say, but for short-term marketing efforts, it's quite good. You can see the uplift from different content types. So if you add also AI content based on your own data, for example, you can see an uplift in sessions. You can see an uplift in rankings. You can also see an uplift in conversions. Yes. Yeah, there was Lufthansa once. I don't know if it's still the case. They said like they reduced their cost for picture production by 90% or so. I don't want to lie here, but I think that's what they said. And still, the click-through rate or the open rate from these pictures is better than the ones from their old other real pictures. I don't know what that means. Maybe they had not too great ad pictures before or whatever, but the quality now, if you do it right, is so good that you see improvements. Yeah,
that's always a question of what was before, right?
Yeah.
Where you're coming from. I mean, our experience when it comes to visual production is a very mixed one, to be honest. So
I know.
We have good results with AI created images and videos, but so do we with classic UGC and classic statics. So there's no real outlier yet, to be honest. And on the other side, we also get a little bit of pushback from several clients who just don't like how the ads look, or how the visuals look, or how the voiceover sounds, these kind of things, right? So they just don't identify their own brand with what AI is generating yet.
That's why that's totally it. No? I would say you want to be unique. The bigger your brand are, the more you kind of also focus on that one. That also means the AI is if you take it by the core, it's just a large language model. So if you look like this to it and say, I have my own voice, I have my own data points, and feed the LLM with it, so that you have like your own LLM basically, then the pictures will be what you in the future what you need. The voice is what you need. The ads look like. So if you don't have enough own data and not enough brand identity anyway, and don't have it in a format that the LLM can understand it, then then you're right. Then for sure it's a problem. But the future will be most likely that everybody has their unique adapted LLM with a lot of internal data. So it's almost like an employee. It's almost like a co-CEO at the end. Yeah,
it's like an on-premise LLM.
Yeah,
like locally installed in a company server, basically.
Yeah. So I read a nice comment from the OpenAI founder that said because they changed the model a bit, they said there's like the search engines and there are the LLMs, and probably there's a difference because the search engine, they save the entire answers of the universe the entire answers of the planet and give answers and give results based on this. The LLM is smart, but doesn't know everything. That's a big difference. So they don't want to know everything at every second and update it and so on. They just want to be the smartest engine in the world you can feed with something, and then gets even better. Yeah, so that's the difference.
So how prediction modeling than actual knowing.
That's what they do, right? They predict the next letter, not like looking for knowledge somewhere. The search engine has knowledge saved and gives the answer. The LLM is the smartest machine in the world and solves problems by smartness, not by knowing. So it's like knowledge versus IQ, right?
It's calculating the answer. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So that's yeah.
Mm-hmm. Back to practical advice, maybe one last tip you can give to the audience when it comes, for example, I mean, your expertise is organic in apps optimization, ASO. Is there something where you say, this is the way to go, this is the tool you should use, we see X% improvement here?
Tool-wise, obviously, first trust your ASO agency of your choice. Yeah. Second one is the tools offer testing built in. So Play Store and Google offer built-in testing opportunities, limited, but I mean by far enough for most companies. Just start using this and do everything you can, fulfill every testing slot in there as first step. Yeah. Second step, go into AppTweak, go into data, AI, whatever you have, or whatever your agency uses or controls for you. You need these insights because trends in the app stores change faster. That's what I learned than we think, and you can actually measure for example, the colors change, like from light to dark, and now back from dark to light or so, and that makes a conversion or an install uplift measurable in the testing tools of 5% plus. So make these tests, look what competition is doing, what the gaming industry does. They're quite upfront usually, and use the tools there. No? Also for the keyword optimization. I mean, you need to understand the intent and the keywords and how you work together with your paid apps team to understand this, and then don't cannibalize. Yeah, so find a way to find the sweet spot between paid and unpaid organic, also in the app stores, would be my first advice.
Okay, thank you very much, Norman. You have even your own podcast, no? Like Leaders of the New School. What is that?
Title is great, huh? we talk about leadership in the age of AI. Yeah, so a lot of things change, flat hierarchies and all this stuff. Maybe how to work together with agency in this new world. How is home office changing? How you set up goals in this new AI world? How can an agent be your co-pilot, your co-partner, your co-CEO, your co-CMO, yeah, your co-junior? Leaders of the New School.
It's for the German audience. No, you're talking German there, right?
German audience. I should use an AI for an English version, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the podcast here with Björn together. So yeah, thanks for mentioning it.
Thanks for coming, Norman. Much appreciated.
Right.
To the audience, obviously, if you have more questions about geo, want to ask questions to Norman directly, reach out, comment on YouTube or wherever you see or hear us. And thanks for listening, guys. Give us a 5 stars, please.
We're here to boost your growth, marketing tips, fun and chats. Tune in.